Pendant suddenly now. I actually like this pistol. Probably my go-to from now on.
Ah, you've returned in one piece. Did you, perchance, acquire those, precious items we spoke about? Oh, don't you worry about that. Come now, hand them over. Ah, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. My handlers will be mighty pleased with these, indeed. Just a local logistical agent operating here on Sub Rosa's behalf. Undoubtedly, you've heard of us. She sent me here to collect these files. They were meticulously kept by the vigilant who lived here before the war. Prominent woman, knew many folk, before a landmine dashed such hopes. You'd think they'd let an ailing codger be the keeper of the coffers? Ha! Now, this little old spider has to get his affairs in order. Here's something for your troubles.
That was worth
Farewell.
it.
Before I forget, stop by Agent Kobor in Matriarch's Mercy if you ain't already. Helping me should be enough to get you past her lackey. Now get! Now to patch myself up and return home.
Oh, we leveled up again. Nice.
Gather your energy.
Okay. In that case, we just need 5 to get into there. That's what I do now. Gotta raise our sneak a bit too. Let's do gun so we can get some more damage. And we're doing decent damage, but we could definitely use more.
Energy.
Go unlock that door real quick. Well, I was kind of hoping we did. Wait, what? Could we have done that this whole time? Don't make me do this. Get out of the door. Your owners are dead anyway. Still, I would have rather not had to have done that.
How are the informant lines treating you? Hear anything good? Not terribly.
My only joke is I just don't get why we have to buy our own weapons from our own merchants. Got people who just
Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison?
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors. but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. I should add, your observations during the investigation were unexpectedly keen. Working beside you was a pleasure.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an Arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue.
What
There's
is it
a
now?
malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
Got it. Got it.
Anyone had asked me, I'd have put the odds of a live arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. And I do disdain mopping up Protectorate corpses. My apologies. Barney is sometimes overzealous in the guarding of my body. Though, when it comes to Protectorate arbiters, it is perhaps warranted.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. But I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
Yes. Yes, it was. I'd hoped to be proven wrong, but vindication has cemented my resolve. I shall uncover what happened, no matter what.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer not to sully my quarters with Protectorate lackeys. Live ones, anyhow.
And I prefer to limit my time with scheming blackguards. Let us take our leave from present company. Speak to me outside, if you would. There's something I'd care to ask you.
Run along now. I've spent more than enough time entertaining wayward sprats.
Yeah, how about this? I recruited a Protectorate subject direct light from Bastion, middle of a Protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject?
They
Forgive me
have
for
a whole thing
withholding my
done here.
applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen ACs.
The role of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together?
I knew he was painting. Okay.
I think you have earned forthrightness. I came to Free Market Station to seek the true killer of my mentor, the Supreme Arbiter. Sub Rosa deals in information, and were thusly my best lead on her killer. They gave me less than I'd hoped, but it was at least a start. Unfortunately, I cannot act truly alone. I have no ship, and no support.
How did you get here if you don't have a ship?
Utilizing one of our craft for independent purposes would have rendered me conspicuous. I knew Sub Rosa would offer steady transport as long as I paid their exorbitant fees, just as I knew they would collect information on my every movement. But I neither trust them nor have the funds to continue this relationship for much longer. You, on the other hand, have proven to be a capable partner. I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? Ah, I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
Fine. If this uptight tin can swings that hammer anywhere near me, there's gonna be trouble.
Very well. I shall locate whichever craft seems the most out of place, for something tells me this shall lead me to yours. See you again shortly.
Alright, we got some shopping to do. Okay, so we're able to lockpick this now and get the whiskey. That's convenient.
As it happens, standing in one place and focusing on not being nervous does not. My friend. Excellent. Thank you. Very well. You wish to know about the crash, yes? Are you prepared for a sordid tale of drama and woe? You, my friend, remind me of my critics. Very well. Everyone knows that the free market's captain was a hopeless romantic, especially disposed to giving too much of her heart to those inclined to break it. The final betrayal came from a dashing rogue smuggler who vanished with most of her bits. The good captain had about all she could endure. Indeed, she did. The crew attempted to wrest the controls from her to save them from their fate, but alas, too late. That's all I know. I thank you for your help once again. And now I must get ready for my set.
Okay. Otto's information. Okay. Who is Otto? Let's track that quest so we know what we're doing.
Tired of firearms that explode in your face?
Like a trap. Hello once more. I guarantee you some of my inventions will be working soon. Oh, I prefer to focus on the present and the future, and not things that may or may not keep me awake in the dark and lonesome hours of the night. You can tell? Damnation. Sounds like you know what it's like working with technology. Maybe I can confide in you. Before it crashed, I served on the free market as a secondary engineer, first grade. Had a colleague who was very talented, but not very good at hiding it. Supervisor saw her as a threat and demoted her to the engine room. She wasn't the type to take a blow without dodging. In Auntie's choice, there's politics among waste technicians. My colleague sabotaged the engines when her partner was on his mandated 2-minute break. When the free market attempted to breach orbit, well, just about everyone died. I made it to an escape pod on the port side. The ship landed on its starboard. I got lucky. Yeah, me too. Anyway, can we get back to subjects that aren't this? I got goods to sell. Be happy.
Let's see. I have a good amount of money right now, so I'll buy your gunpowder and I'll return you to buy more stuff in the future.
Buy from me, please.
Okay, so that is search for clues. Large piece of material has been belonged to a ship. Nah, you might be able to learn more about it. We'll come back when we get our engineering skill up more. Hey! That's not good. Nothing we can do about that right now, I guess.
Latest contraband came in. Looked like right the hall. Couple dozen
Stay vigilant. Report any suspicious activity to your
I used to love taking the train across Dorado, seeing the Marcasite caverns, the silence of the desolate plains. But that's all in the past now.
was muted. I hope I didn't unmute myself to clear my throat. That would be annoying. Not like I can really do anything about it.
This place reeks of death. I believe refugees attempted to take solace from the fighting here. I only hope they found peace in oblivion.
Drop by our predictory today and find out how you can take an active part in your future.
Let's hope this will be as easy as following the road.
Please, somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to the mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this way. This way.
Come on, I don't want to walk into a trap. We'll go around. Damn, I don't think we can go around. Okay. Guess we'll walk into a trap.
Get it, boys! Viscerally!
Hold on a moment. I wasn't ready for this. Let's flip that.
Malefactor ahead.
Ready. Frankly,
Commander, I must yet regain my vigor. This got a mean streak.
You have my thanks and my hammer.
Quit.
Stand against us. I would not refuse this, which is most embarrassing.
Plan is good. We kill a lot of dumb people and take their stuff. It's hard sometimes to still talk smart. Taking your journey time makes talking good easy, but after a journey time makes it even more harder. So need more journey time. We just gotta move. Find new people to steal from. Order guys, aunties guys, and angry order guys are all hard to fight. New people peoples is easy, you just needed to find a place to catch them when order guy's not around. Yeah, this new good plan, we scrappers can do this, just gotta keep talking smart and... Oh, okay. Yeah, that worked well for you. I should take a hit of inhaler, but I really don't want to.
Seems the Order was not prepared for such an influx of refugees.
Another refugee? All right, step just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. That a fact? Well, I was going to give you a friendly warning, but since you don't have the time, I'll leave you to wonder. So be it. Welcome to Matriarch's mercy.
I remember this place before the war. Functioning trimiculars. Peaceful silence in the canyons.
I can't recall the last time this region was silent.
I swear, it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. I am sure they bear any inconveniences with grace and dignity. I mean, the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's mercy has some pretty compelling numbers. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors. Longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to... Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Oh, You want me to keep sickness to myself? Is that it? Well, I refuse to give in to shame and fear. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
Okay.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Broke my nose last scrap. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now. Okay, no need to get sore or nothing. I don't think it works like that, but I ain't gotta be right. I don't get paid to, speculate. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off borscht loaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
Word to wise, don't accept anything here that's given for free. You'll pay, one way or another.
Fair.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention. Oh, a semi-informed customer. Well, we offer a wide array of proxy altercations, from restrained bludgeoning to flat-out scraps. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a sick canid to feed.
You got business? No? Move on. You the fixer lent your aid to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh? Forget it. You can come in.
Hello. You're the one that aided us in availing Sub Rosa of a rather large shipment of Spectrum vodka, yes? Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids, so winning her over speaks volumes of your character. Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's fortunate you're no stranger to contraband.
Cool. Okay.
Idle browsers will be escorted from the premises.
Treasure hunter. We don't have that. Okay. Bottom armor. That may or may help
Your
us.
nose was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose.
Don't feel like no stand-in.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another
We're
colony?
not going anywhere. Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction. Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. I was once considered quite the up-and-comer in the Department of Invasive Marketing. Looked down on all the bottom rungers and have-nots. Then I came here and became one. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. Chance of life-threatening peril from a yet-to-be-determined catastrophe were the administrant's words. Not what I would call specific. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but you, maybe you'll have better luck.
I'll give it a try. Oh, here we go.
I got a pretty fancy gun I was issued back when I was a rising star at Auntie's. Side with us, and it's yours. Even throw in a healthy amount of bits for your troubles. Thanks, stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building, probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
Try not to deviate from the norm. What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's
The Protectorate have only been told a watered-down revision of Order philosophy.
Shame what happened there. I seen the whole thing. Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Yes, technically a hut is meant to be only one story, because when you stack them, they tend to fall over. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone, so they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes.
Nourishment is here. Amity chips, shelf-stable and intestinally safe. Tomorrow's favorite snack is available today from the Order of the Ascendant. What you think about, you bring about. The Order advocates for no less than 6 hours of uninterrupted rumination on the universal equation per day.
Hang on. Hey, we managed to take it without a bounty this time.
Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected. And beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Antes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food.
Apogee chips, shelf-stable and intestinally safe. Tomorrow's favorite snack is available today from the Order of the Ascendant.
I mean, we ain't gonna give up our cots for what could be the enemy. We're doing what we gotta do to keep our heads on our shoulders. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war.
Good point.
Of existence advisory remains in effect for all presently transiting the Golden Ridge region. Utmost caution is highly urged. Refugees and travelers report targeted ambushment by desperate pharmaceutical-addled chemically...
But nothing's ever really free, is it? I went through this myself when Anti's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's Mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this?
Territorial, toothsome, and aggressive. Travelers are instructed to closely monitor their surroundings at all times whilst peregrinating outside inhabited areas. Those choosing to heed said forewarnings are predicted to have a...
The thought has crossed my mind, though I reckon we might have seen concrete proof of that by now. Anyhow, if the Order is in fact helping these folk with no hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you hearing me out.
Internal speculation. For those lost in thought and of finishing an equation, I repeat, the lower hall is for contemplative calculation.
Friends! Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Never as many as I would like, perhaps, but my little congregation grows by the hour. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just seeps right in. Give it a few years and they'll even be asking questions.
Few years, huh?
Reminds me of Tau Ceti right after the merger. Had to wait for my number to be called just to get rations and a cot. Hope these folk don't have to wait as long.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little...
Ruth Bassar is the first among equals of the Laureate Council. She brings humanity to perfection.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. You may peruse to your heart's content.
Oh, you actually sell weapons. You know, I did not expect that. I can put a silencer in my plasma pistol. Okay.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Oh, May, is it? You're on a first-name basis already? This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Excuse me, but the intricate dance of the cosmos is anything but shady. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. Surely, but the abbot asked me to be personally responsible for their continued well-being. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. I have some custom-made order armor I never use. I can also allocate some funds from my budget. At least, I can provide that if you side our way. That's more than the voice can offer. So, do we have a deal? I believe only in the cold, inconvenient mathematics of the cosmos. This will work. It must work. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, but you already knew that. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and...
Okay.
By the law. It's you.
Me? I don't remember you.
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but two imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them.
Might have time to patch up one or two patients before we head out. I used to be a combat medic. A good one, too.
You also strike me as someone on the go. I need committed medical employees, not a freelancer. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
You're right. The universe... Ah! I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then. I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. There's nothing more practical than improving lives now, is there? We've offered the displaced access to our weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. I believe my services will be increasingly sought after the more of the displaced learn of our methods. Vicar Orendi, for instance, is assiduously occupied with such efforts. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. I foresee you have much to do.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability? Yes, the presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, due to our need for compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution.
What business is it of yours?
Let's not be unfriendly. The agent's only curious. Obviously, Victor's work has something to do with N-rays, but beyond that, I haven't a clue. More of that pesky compartmentalization, I'm afraid. Besides the highly caustic Zeranium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay. Rift worshippers spouting inane theories. They began showing up prior to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the Protectorate always starts small, doesn't it? Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. It is apparent to me now that the presiding bishop, in her unfailing calculations, sent you here so that we may be of assistance to one another. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Auntie's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Thank you for proving my thesis statement.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend. But the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence. But if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Please convey that fact to whomever you speak with.
And here I was under the impression that investigating crime and injustice was primarily what Earth Directorate agents do.
At any rate, I trust whatever's uncovered over the course of this investigation will serve as compensation enough. Before you dash off, here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory should you decide to look into matters there. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traders you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes if you return with any new findings.
Okay. I have a lot to do here.
Have you beheld that new rifle up at the monastery, the Oracle?
The one Wiley designed, right? Uses a tracking algorithm, never misses. Sounds ambitious, even for him.
I'd give my tenure for an hour alone with it and a mantisaur at 2 clicks.
That's something to keep in mind. Okay.
If we must break our backs for the Order, I prefer to start at the manufactory. I admit to some minor curiosity as to what transpired there.
Hope you appreciated how I bit my tongue back there with the abbot. Didn't want things to come to blows with civilians in the crossfire. Full of excuses for the attack, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Could be that he's sincere. Or could be that he has his hands so full with keeping his community from falling apart that he missed a memo or two. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we know the truth. If it were my folk buried under the rubble, if Ortiz was among them, I'd want to know for certain before acting. Besides, ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are. That's the burden of being competent. Everyone expects your help, even if it ain't freely given. While we're at it playing detective, we need to scope out opportunity. If there are any survivors, we ought to help, however we're able. I can only hope they had warning enough to run for cover. If they didn't, well, there's only so much basic training can prepare you for. Once endured a week-long bombardment in a foxhole with only enough rations to last 3 days. Screams went on twice that long. Some of us still ain't fully recovered. We should move on, unless you've got something for me?
Oh, a visitor. Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one, as a laugh. Everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. If you want an exact estimate or percentage, talk to them. As for me, I just got that, anecdotal feedback. A few times, I couldn't make heads or tail of half of it. Like, avoid anything representing whole numbers? I didn't know what to do about that. So I just stayed put. End of the day, I'm still here, and my co-occupant Ike isn't. So, I guess them prognostications work well enough. You did catch the part I said they'd save my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
Matriarch's mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright.
I want to find the exclusion zone and check that out.
The bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
Wait. Don't tell me you're one of those drones from anti-space.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Stranger. Vexing. We're at the mercy of the... Not to insult our gracious hosts, but these people don't wipe themselves unless an equation tells them to.
That's gross.
What happened to this place? Law.
That is neat.
Yes. Well, if the Archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles.
know that.
The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one can hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. Appreciate.
Where do we go now?
Oh. Administrant Agarwal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least.
Speaking as a representative of the Order, we will abide by the Mediator's decision if you do the same.
Agreed.
Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands. Speak on, then.
Did he also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
But our predictions are given to inform and protect, not to frighten. Forgive me. I do not mean to disrupt.
You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
Her mission is to uplift and enlighten.
She's indoctrinating, not helping us. Can't you see the difference?
Point taken.
You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day. Huh.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
If the Provisioner's booked up, I say redeploy another egghead at the matter.
It's less of an issue of personnel as it is of safety. Contrary to your assumptions, we do care about your collective and individual well-being.
I'm all ears, Mediator.
Collapsed. But we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure, more of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty. People are struggling to make do with what they have. If we had the exclusion zone, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm aghast these structures weren't built following established order construction guidelines. The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire Sub Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd, and I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help. The fault here is my own. I see now that the displaced require guidance steeped in logic and reason. I understand he is rather short-handed.
Yeah. Someone should get right on that, huh? Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis?
Are you mocking me?
We have ample room to space people out more, but only if we utilize the exclusion zone.
That is indeed unfortunate, but the dangers predicted for the exclusion zone may outweigh these concerns. By my calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator. I suspect that your sympathies lie with the displaced. Unfortunate if true, but I leave the decision in your capable hands. Well, if this is the fate that was augured, then I will not complain, though it goes against my very nature. Please, be safe. That's all I ask.
Not to worry, Administrant. The exclusion zone is our problem now. Here, you stay out of trouble. We'll try and do the same.
A burst SMG, huh? I'll take short rounds. Doesn't my lever action take short rounds? Yeah. I will keep it for now. We want to sell good.